Celtics have won 9 straight home openers. And we are underway. The basketball season has begun. Celtics control the tap, and let's pick up the defensive assignments. Mark Jackson's going to come out on Dennis Johnson. That puts Wilkins over on Ainge. Newman's got Bird. Oakley's got McHale. Inside, Larry Newman the steal. And DJ nearly picked his pocket. It'll be Nick Ball.
Pass was just a little bit late. Count.
Dennis Johnson up with some three-quarter court pressure as Jackson fights his way through, throws up a runner, hits it, and draws a foul from Dennis Johnson.
Dennis Johnson worked out yesterday, I guess, the first time in a few days. And he has been chronically bothered with an Achilles problem. So I'm kind of just looking to see how much mobility he has and how his endurance will hold up even in the first 3 minutes of a ball game.
Knicks off quickly 3-0, and they come early with the press. Celtics clear the double team at half court. McHale's the free man. Misses the jumper. Ewing controls the rebound. Outlet to half court to Jackson. DJ and Ainge are back. Leaves it for Wilkins. He'll try a three and hit it.
Well, that's fast break basketball. He just slid right into the corner as the two Celtic defenders, before Bird got up there, had to retreat to the hoop.
And the Knicks are out of the blocks quickly. 6-zip. Inside to Bird. Stolen again. Newman. Second time Johnny Newman has picked off a pass intended for Larry Bird. Right side Jackson. Pull-up jumper. Oakley got away with a push. Ainge got the rebound. And Jackson picks his pocket and blocked by Parrish. Loose ball. Out of bounds. Knicks ball. Great recovery there by Robert Parrish after Mark Jackson took it away from Danny Ainge.
Well, the Knicks have an exceedingly quick lineup in there with Newman. Here comes Robert Parrish to save what ordinarily would have been a layup after the good steal from Danny Ainge.
Newman, good up fake on Bird. Takes a little runner. Won't go. And that one's going to be Oakley, I believe, coming in and clearing out.
There is no question that if you are defending against Charles Oakley, you have got to go out and get him and then let him take you to the hoop. He's that aggressive. And he will be hanging on your back all night. And they could call 3 or 4 of those against him again.
Knicks again coming with a half-court trap here. It goes to Parrish, finds McHale, but he couldn't handle the pass. So the Celtics, a minute and a half into this game, have yet to score. They've turned the ball over 4 times on 4 possessions. Newman launches a bomb. I mean, a bomb. Oakley recovers. Jackson penetrates. Gets 2 more.
Right by Dennis Johnson.
5 quick ones from Mark Jackson. 8-0 Knicks. And the Celtics are going to use a quick timeout. So the New York Knicks take some high fives on their bench. Jimmy Rogers wants to talk it over. Hi, I'm Mike Gorman. Hershiser here on the Celtics for the first minute and a half. 8-0 New York. And once again, Sports Channel wants to welcome viewers who are tuning in tonight for the first time during our triple-header weekend fall preview. If you'd like to order Sports Channel, if you like what you see and you don't want to miss the Celtics, 1-800-821-7337 is the number. Operators are standing by. Join us for the season. Danny hits outside, and it's 8-3. And the Knicks turn it over.
Quick attack by Dennis Johnson. Turn him out is a fair play. One press versus the other. Well, this type of defense will take the Celtics away from their strength, the inside game.
Big article this week in the Boston papers how the Celtics were not going to be taking the 3 anymore. Again, he gets the first bucket of the year. Again, it's Ainge. Misses. Ewing clears Jackson. Knicks are running. Helter-skelter, but they get the ball up quickly. Jackson to Ewing. He traveled, got away with it, missed the layup, Bird the rebound. Ewing really cleared Parrish out. He's still on the seat of his pants at the other end.
Well, these Knicks are really wanting to run an awful lot. Put it on the glass and hope that they can get a rebound on it.
A foul.
And the Celtics, if they push the ball up quickly before the Knick defense is set up, they can end up with situations like this before the defender can get down there to really help out. McHale has made a strong move to the hoop.
Celtics on a 5-point run of their own here. 8-5. Knicks by 3. DJ again, not giving Jackson much room at all.
Going to play Jackson nose to nose. Don't give him an angle to go straight to the hoop.
Ewing wants to go on McHale. Does for 2.
That's a walk.
A pretty walk though.
Yeah.
Danny looking inside. Kevin gets double teamed. Bumped by Ewing. Foul Ewing, and that's 2. So Rick Pitino may have to go to his bench early.
Well, that is the problem that Rick Pitino will be facing all season long. People will take it right at this man who made that move that I thought was walking.
Yeah, it did look like he changed pivot feet in the middle, right? Again, DJ looks from McHale. They want to go on Oakley. Kevin gets the turnaround.
Now the Celtics will attack the inside if possible if they don't have the fast break. That time, Pitino switched Ewing off of the tough inside player, McHale.
Oakley looking for Ewing to come inside. Patrick wants to go again, throws it up. McHale takes Oakley down, and the foul is going to be on McHale. Oakley and McHale had their arms locked. Take a look.
You watch now. Kevin McHale is watching the ball, and Oakley's trying to create some room for himself. And there you see the two of them going. And Oakley, like a good rebounder, was trying to create room for himself for the ball to come down.
Dennis Johnson off the Wilkins miss. The Celtics can get to within 1. Bird inside McHale, and a travels call by Joe Crawford. But again, Boston looking for the quick push. 5 turnovers in 3.5 minutes.
They got it. They have established the tempo, but they do not have the finesse yet with that system. In fact, the Knicks, with their fast break, feel and look much more comfortable with it.
It's early. Newman took a walk again, no call. McHale clears quickly to Ainge. Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson, both up the floor. Bird the trailer. Larry, little up fake. Now Danny for 3. Rebound Ewing. Jackson wants to go, finds Newman, blocked by Bird, and he picks it off. Robert Parrish. Rebound off to Jackson, and the Knicks look to run again. This is a track meet so far. Newman traveled again and got the layup off the glass.
What are those 3 officials doing?
I don't know, but they're not calling travels here tonight. Celtics turn it over for a 6th time. Here comes Jackson trying to go around DJ, and Dennis Johnson's going to be called for the foul. You may see Brian Shaw quicker than Jimmy Rogers would hope, as DJ picks up his 2nd.
Well, we are seeing right now the Celtics really trying to up-tempo the game and run with the Knicks. The Knicks perfectly happy to do that, so you can't pick them apart with the inside game with Ewing with 2 fouls. Now, if you're going to play tempo basketball, you got to play tempo basketball. You have to run, run, run. Right now, the selection of the shots not too good by the Celtics with this fast break style.
Oakley tries the glass, and he's wild with it. Bird outlet to Danny. Kevin McHale quickly up the floor, was trying to set up shop on Tucker. Finds Ainge on a cut. Short as Ewing made him change the shot. Outlet pass to Newman. He's 1 on 4. Thinks better of it. 3 out is the play called by Rick Pitino. Ewing swooping through again. Harris clears. Up ahead, DJ. Tucker's waiting for it. Danny, another 3. Hits outside.
Well, what a weapon that is if you're a fast break team when the defense sinks way back in and you got a shooter like Danny Ainge.
That's going to be a goaltend on Robert Parrish, and you can see how quickly the Knicks are pushing the ball right back down the Celtics' throat.
Well, the tail end of last season, the Knicks made a commitment to running with a running offense. They spent the first half of the season trying to perfect that zone pressure defense that Pitino likes to use.
Celtics looking for Bird. Larry will take it and hit it. First bucket for Larry Bird, 6 minutes into the first quarter. Sidney Green and Gerald Wilkins are back up at the scorer's table. Parrish and Ewing are really banging each other off the ball. Top right of the screen. Bird the quick hands on Newman. That's a push by Tucker, and Tucker knocks it down. The Knicks will play a very physical game with you, and they'll keep playing it until the whistle's blown. Bird again. Loose ball rebound to Tucker. Knicks by 4. Jackson, good pass. Oakley. And he couldn't get it underneath, but Ainge got a piece of the ball. According to the official, it'll be Knick basketball as Sidney Green and Gerald Wilkins come in. Johnny Newman's going to the bench. The Knicks have 6 players on the floor right now. Now Charles Oakley's going to leave.
I'll tell you, Bird is huffing and puffing right now.
Wilkins launches a 3. Rebound pulled down Dennis Johnson. Brian Shaw at the scorer's table. Inside McHale, bumps off Green, finds Parrish for 2.
Great look that time by McHale. Sensed the triple team, and the Chief just swooped in there.
Bird is out on Tucker. Ewing's really calling for the ball every time up. Bird, the quick hands to knock it away.
I got away with one that time.
Parrish has got Sidney Green in the switch. He wants to go on him. Now he backs in, bumps off, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
If you're going to play an up-tempo game, Rick Pitino has got this down to where he's got a pattern of substitutions. And Larry Bird, after not quite 8 minutes, or just a little over 7 minutes, is huffing and puffing from this very up-tempo game. That's one of the things you have to watch if you're going to coach a fast break ball club, is your big men tiring out and really not digging it out, particularly the forwards. You need a third man up on that fast break.
Robert Parrish with his 3rd point of the night as we look at Rod Strickland, the #1 pick of the Knicks, checking in. So he and Brian Shaw, you get a quick look at each other.
Strickland is a very, very, very talented backcourt man.
Well, eyebrows were raised when the Knicks took him, but he's the best player available. Had the Rookie of the Year in Mark Jackson. He broke Oscar Robertson's rookie assist record. Oakley hits outside. That is Charles Oakley's shot.
Now the Knicks are back to a very small team again. Sidney Green, in essence, is the center.
Harris, good spin, and the foul is going to be on Sidney Green reaching in.
And if you don't out-quick the other team with defense, the Celtics will be able to take advantage of this with moves like that. And Green had to come at Parrish from behind for the foul. But you give up a tremendous height advantage immediately. Pitino comes back in with a big guy to defend against Robert Parrish.
Eddie Lee Wilkins checks into the game for the first time. You're looking at Jim Paxson also making his initial appearance. Paxson and Shaw are now the Celtic backcourt. Parrish, McHale, and Bird stay up front. The Knicks have Eddie Lee Wilkins, Charles Oakley, Rod Strickland, Gerald Wilkins. Eddie Lee and Gerald no relation, and Trent Tucker. Chief for the 2nd of 2. Boston trails by 1. Here's Rod Strickland, rookie out of DePaul, picked up by Brian Shaw, the #1 draft pick of the Celtics. Shaw right up in his pants. Good hands by Parrish.
Oakley is not really a good low post option. Doesn't have the moves down there. But either does Eddie Lee Wilkins.
Inside, McHale throws it up, goes and gets it, lays it back up, it won't go down. Loose ball picked off by Strickland.
And here's a 4 or 5 on 3 with all that quickness.
Oakley hits the jumper again.
And he, as the 4th guy up, wide open as the trailer, as McHale and Parrish laboring to get back on defense. You really have to watch the big guys if you're going to play this kind of tempo.
Larry Bird really had Trent Tucker pinned, but a traveling violation is called. The 7th turnover on Boston. And Larry had Trent Tucker in the paint, and he's just screaming to the ball. And that's Brian Shaw. You won't see a lot of daylight between Shaw and the person he's covering. Oakley again, not this time. Good rebound, Parrish. Shaw, nice cut. Gets the bucket.
Beautiful feed as they went to try and double team McHale. He picked it right up and just laid it beautifully to Shaw.
Knicks by 1, 3 minutes to go here first quarter. New York has led all the way. Mark Akers now up at the scorer's table. Wilkins wants it. Won't go down. Gets his own rebound. Throws one up. That won't go down. And Bird in the pack takes it away. Here comes Shaw. He's got Paxson ahead and he finds it. Bryant inside. Good look for McHale.
That's great fast break basketball. If it's not a trailer, look inside. The defense is spread out to pick up the outside guy, and McHale was wide open.
The Celtics have their first lead of the season, 21-20. Celtics have their first lead of the season, 21-20, and a quick chance to remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Boston Celtics and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Boston Celtics and Sports Channel is prohibited. Announcers on the broadcast selected by Sports Channel, approved by the Celtics. The Knicks have 38%, Boston at 50%. We have got a track meet on our hands.
Big factor going on right now is the pattern of substitutions by Jimmy Rogers. Big guys, if they're running full out, find it very difficult to play more than 8 minutes at a clip.
Celtics with a 2-on-1 here. Paxson lost it on the way up. Shaw to rebound. I'm sorry, Pete.
Paxson is not a finisher, and he saw somebody standing right in front of him, but that Shaw sure is.
Eddie Lee Wilkins calling for the ball on Kevin McHale. There it goes into him. He wants to put it up. Whoa, Eddie.
I thought I told you that he didn't have those inside moves, but here is the press. Now you can play your bench and still be aggressive with this type of defense, and maybe something good will happen. And they're going to use it against a rookie guard who's going to have to read it perfectly so that Celtics don't turn the ball over.
Bird battling with Kenny Walker. The Celtics find him. Little up fake. Double team. Bird can't hit. Oakley the rebound. Nearly picked off by Larry. Boston by 1:40 to go here first quarter.
You know, this first half they have not, or this first quarter they have not called an awful lot of plays for Larry Bird. He's trying to have to find his way open in this fast break style just to get his shots off.
Kenny Walker loose underneath, ball out of bounds, and Joe Crawford says it went off the Celtics. Johnny Newman comes back in. Oakley goes out. Reggie Lewis is going to get his first appearance for the Celtics as he comes in, and Larry Bird sits down. Larry going to the bench, 1 for 3, and looking a little pink.
Yes, and that's a tough job for Larry Bird to play a little over 10 minutes of real up-tempo basketball.
Wilkins again gets the hook this time. Knicks have had 8 different players score already in this game. They trap Paxson in the corner. Reggie breaks through. Up ahead to McHale. Kevin's going to go. Gets the hook.
And Brian Shaw was wide open, swooping down the right wing.
Johnny Newman can't handle the pass as he started to move before he got the ball. Boston by 1. 4th turnover on the Knicks. 1 minute to go here first quarter. Akers comes to the ball. Now puts it on the floor. Back to Shaw. Kevin McHale bumping inside to position. And Eddie Lee Wilkins is called with a foul.
That's CBA defense.
That sure was, yeah.
New York foul was by number 45, Eddie Lee Wilkins.
Dino says, you're with the Knicks again. Now you got to be a little smarter than that.
You can get 3 to 5 for that if you do it on the street.
Kevin McHale has gone has gone almost the whole quarter here. 11 minutes, a little over 11 minutes of real up-tempo basketball. And one of the things that to make this style work will be how the big men are rotated, how quickly, so that McHale and Parrish and Bird will have something left in the 4th quarter. And the game might get down to the last 2 minutes.
Shaw doubling up on Wilkins, and Rod Strickland stepped out of bounds to catch the pass. Boston by 2, looking for 4. Reggie Lewis, good move on Walker. Inside McHale, good move on Wilkins, but the shot won't get out, and Walker clears it.
Strickland is not a hard push man. He sure knows what to do with the ball when he gets it, if he can get in the middle.
That's a walk.
Good call, Mike.
Thank you. Eddie kind of like packed for the weekend there before he made that move to the hoop.
Brought his American Express
He
card
sure
too because he
did.
couldn't stay for the weekend.
Reggie Lewis penetrates. Hits the jumper.
Beautiful. Complete poise that time by Reggie.
Paxson up on Tucker. He throws it up quickly, and the Celtics have themselves a 4-point lead. So up-tempo, fast-break basketball is back to the Garden. And Boston, after one, leads by 4. Back once again, everyone, to our triple-header weekend, the fall preview. Tonight's game, the Celtics and the Knicks, 28-24, Boston after one. Lots of banging going on, Trump.
Well, when you try to get a man in that low post, and you use as many people as the Knicks will use, Eddie Lee feels that he can put a body on anybody. Didn't like the call, but come on, Eddie Lee.
Here are the first quarter numbers. Let's check the lineup. Mark Jackson's back out there with Walker, Gerald Wilkins, Johnny Newman, and Patrick Ewing. They're looking for Ewing inside. Akers has got him, and he's bumping him. Jackson looks to penetrate. Newman looks to shoot. We got an elbow foul, and it could be Ewing, and that's number 3.
Well, that is going to consistently plague the Knicks. And that's where the loss of Bill Cartwright may end up being the biggest factor of the season for the Knicks, because they will not have a real capable backup man. And Ewing has really never learned to play without being super aggressive. He played that style at Georgetown and here with the Knicks, and they've encouraged that in him, and now he's got to temper that and be very, very smart about the aggressive moves he makes. And he'll have to do an awful lot of thinking now when to make those hard moves to the hoop. And we're very early in the first half, but I think that's going to be a situation all season long that Rick Pitino will be worrying about.
You can see Patrick's used to hearing the whistle. Akers missed them both, so no damage to the Knicks. Celtics still lead by 4. Brian Shaw, Larry Bird, Mark Akers, Reggie Lewis, Jim Paxson. Start the second quarter for the Celtics. Paxson aggressively out on Gerald Wilkins. Shaw's got Jackson. Akers again with Ewing.
Well, I can't believe that isn't a walk. Makes the ball, spins it, and takes another 2 steps to get his balance.
Ewing only 1 of 5 from the floor. And the Knicks again applying pressure. Bird gets it into Akers. There's the double. Larry. Bullet pass up. Reggie Lewis. Got Paxson on the wing. Tipped away from behind by Gerald Wilkins.
Wilkins is one of the real scrappy type players that you'd like to have on any ball club, offensively and defensively. The Celtics beat the front part of the press, and the lone defender was Patrick Ewing, who was going to try and block a shot and might have picked up his 4th foul. So that was a great play by Wilkins.
Robert Parrish back in. Mark Akers sits down. Brian Shaw will set the Celtic offense. 15 on the shot clock. Paxson will try. Hits outside.
I think that is a mighty important shot for Jim Paxson so that he can feel like he's part of this ball club. Back problems last year, shoulder injury a little bit. I've had a real 100% opportunity to get into shape in this training camp.
Jim at 6'6" can get all over Wilkins. Reggie Lewis, the hustle play to knock it out of bounds. Newman trying to post up Reggie down low.
Well, Newman spreads out, but that's not much of a spread out.
Johnny Newman, who was a free agent in the middle of last year after being cut by a couple of teams. Had a great second half for the Knicks, and now he's got himself about a $500,000 contract. Ewing hits Salina. 4 for Ewing. The Knicks have nobody with more than 5 points, but 8 different people have scored.
Well, that's what this type of basketball will do.
Parrish finds Paxson. Nice move.
Great look by the Chief. They beat the press, made the lone defender underneath commit to the low post man, and then Parrish found the open guy.
Ewing again, kept out of bounds this time. I tell you, Patrick is thinking offensively, though. He gets the ball. He's not looking for anybody else. Parrish and Ewing out of the screen. Bird's looking inside. Now finds Reggie. Roberts there.
And Ewing just moved away. So it's not to foul Robert Parrish. So they've got him thinking defensively.
Celtics with their biggest lead, 8. Danny Ainge set to come back in the game next whistle. Newman going to launch another one. Rebound, kicked around. Bird's got it. Outlet to Paxson. 5th rebound for Larry. Good look by Paxson. Parrish can't get the turnaround to go down. Newman there. Swallowed up by Lewis, and Parrish now comes out himself.
Never did take advantage of Patrick Ewing, who was being defended by nobody down in that low post.
Johnny Newman throws it up again and draws a foul. Could be Reggie Lewis picking this one up. Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge are going to come back in. Paxson and Shaw go to the bench, and they get a nice hand. Ryan Shaw had 4, and Paxson had 4.
I'll tell you, Reggie Lewis at the forward spot against this ball club right now is not a bad idea. However, let me see who's going to be playing forward. Newman. So Lewis matches up very nicely against this man, Johnny Newman. And the Celtics will have speed at that other forward spot so they can make a 3-man attack on a fast break and still have some guys that can take it strong to the hoop. That's what we're going to be looking at most of the season. That first 3 guys, how quickly they get up there and how well they use the 4th and 5th man coming up the court after the ball has been pushed up hard on the defense.
Reggie Lewis quickly ahead to Danny. Larry's the trailer. Good cut for Reggie. Parrish to follow.
Terrific motion that time. The Knicks defense never got a chance to set up.
Celtics stretch it out to 8. 8:45 to go here first half. Oakley a turnaround. Taken away by Ainge over the top of Sidney Green. Up ahead to Bird. Larry on the cut to Parrish. Good catch. And a hooking foul is called on Robert Parrish as he went around Mark Jackson.
Well, the little guys always body up to you and get up real close. And referees, being little people themselves, always give the advantage to the little guy.
Empathy there, huh?
Yes. Compassion for the little man.
Something you never felt that.
In the nose with an elbow. Keep those little guys out of there.
Wilkins.
Great
over
shot.
Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge had his hand right in his gut. Knocked him off balance, but not enough to destroy the shot.
8 minutes straight up to go here first half.
There's a zone defense, and
Celtics just trying to get it a little closer, and Robert Parrish will end up with the line. Oakley. And then Mark Jackson gets the ball.
That's the way to beat the press. The Celtics last year used to rely on Bird or Ainge hitting from deep in the corner to defeat the Knicks press. Now they're trying to do it by making somebody commit from underneath the basket on the baseline and allowing somebody to swing down the middle for layups. And Parrish ended up getting fouled, but he sure had a half an alley to the hoop that time.
Celtics just 5 of 10 from the free throw line so far in this game, Tom. Is that a reflection of the pace?
Yes, it is. When you get used to playing slow down basketball, you have a tendency to be able to calm yourself down easier. A whole bunch of habits that they'll have to acquire, the 5 veterans, in playing this up-tempo style.
Dennis Johnson now defensively on Mark Jackson. Johnny Newman in a switch. Boy, Newman just is looking to put it up every time he touches it. He's got 8. Leads the Knicks in scoring. Reggie looks inside. Harris wants to go on Oakley. Comes up short, gets his own rebound, gets a little closer. That won't go. Tips it away, but Sidney Green comes up with it. Up it comes to Wilkins. Gerald Wilkins finds Newman, who shoots. Air ball. Johnny Newman. Is George Gervin or something on him?
I'm going to tell you, Johnny Newman will have no problems whatsoever. He just keep firing him up. That won't disturb him one bit.
Nice move by Jackson. Gets the layup.
Here's the press again.
Up ahead, Danny. Easy 2.
And Sidney Green, no way that should have happened. Big mistake there.
Oakley back the other way, gets the layup easy. Again the pressure. Reggie Lewis left alone. Celtic lead at 4. That was the lead at the end of 1. Reggie Lewis just turns. Rebound pulled down by Oakley. Bullet pass out to Newman. Back to Jackson.
4 on 2.
Jackson. Oh, nice feed off Sidney Green, out of bounds. Boston ball.
Sidney Green, as a running rebel, should have been able to hold his man off to handle that pass cleanly and still get a shot.
.6:10 to go here first half. Mike Gorman along with Tom Heinsohn at the Boston Garden. And once again, we would like to welcome all the viewers with us for the first time tonight on the triple header weekend, our fall preview at Sports Channel. Hope you enjoy the weekend's activities. The Celtics game, of course, the first of the triple header, and we hope to stay with us all season long.
Starting unit back in now, and one of the problems if you're going to play pace is if you're on the bench for a protracted period of time is to hit the floor and keep running right from the get-go.
McHale spins on Green. Doesn't get the bounce. Loose out of bounds. Boston will keep it. Celtics with the starting 5. Wilkins, Jackson, Green, Walker, and Oakley are on the floor for the Knicks. Patrick Ewing on the bench with those 3 fouls.
Now you'll notice that the Celtics have not been able to make substantial inroads with Ewing being on the bench. And the reason is that this is a quicker team and more aggressive, and the Celtics, playing against the pressure defense, are not able to capitalize on their side.
Mark Jackson goes up for the rebound, comes coast to coast. Good feed for Oakley. Back to Walker. He's got 2.
That was a 4 on 2.
Ainge up to Parrish. Cross-court it comes McHale. Celtics look to break this press up the sideline, Tom. One pass to the middle into the sideline.
Well, they've got the middleman covered, so you don't normally try to get the ball in the middle. If you can successfully do that, it's very easy to break the press, but it's also a risky pass the way the Knicks are playing it right now.
Bird's got 4, and that's the Celtic lead. 5 minutes to go first half. Wilkins misses. Long rebound. And Charles able to track it down. Jackson waving Wilkins through in the baseline. Oakley. Kenny Walker. Not the shot you would think you're looking out at Kenny Walker.
Well, Kenny had great difficulty making that shot last year, and first year he started to hit it, and all of a sudden that jump shot from 18 feet evaporated.
Harris comes up with the loose ball. It's tipped back, picked off by Ainge. Boy, the Knicks have quick hands. See there, McHale can't get the layup. Underneath, picked off by Oakley. Skips a pass up. Jackson won't catch it. Out of bounds. Boston ball. Here comes Trent Tucker in. Gerald Wilkins goes out.
Well, the old way last year that they would beat this type of defense is really spread the defense out and pick it apart against the smaller big people of the Knicks. Now, that's going to be a tough job if you're going to play up-tempo basketball. If you play up-tempo basketball, you got a lot of baskets before that defense forms.
Larry hits from the corner. Give him 2.
I think Bird may have to make the biggest adjustment of anybody. They're not going to call a significant number of plays for Larry, and he's going to have to find a way to score on the fast break. He, to me, is the ideal 4th man up the court. Like Don Nelson used to do. Great outside shooter and get all the shots he wants off the fast break in that spot.
Mark Jackson, another strong move to the bucket.
Dennis Johnson having an awful lot of difficulty containing Jackson's penetration. This is a man-to-man press. They disguise it, and every once in a while they'll come double on you. So you have to be heads up where the open man is. That's why Jimmy Rogers has this 5-man unit in there. This is the most experienced, of course, at handling the press.
Harris clears himself, misses the jump shot. The tip almost went in. The foul's going to go on the Knicks. Kevin McHale got fouled. Sidney Green picks it up. That's 3 on Green. He joins Ewing in that column. Here comes Eddie Lee Wilkins back in the game. Green will go out.
Now, the Celtics appear to be playing ugly basketball. They're not making anything look beautiful. It's not easily done. And this is
something they're not used to, obviously.
Yeah, some of the things you're not used to. The tempo of the game. More used to executing that half-court offense like that. That's the first play I've seen them really call for Bird.
Walker pops out in the corner. Oakley out to push screen on Dennis Johnson. Jackson goes the other way. Finds Kenny Walker again for about a 17-footer. That's off. Strong rebound, Eddie Lee Wilkins. That won't go. Rebound again, Eddie Lee Wilkins. That goes.
Eddie Lee will bang in there. Gotta block him off. Here's the man-to-man press again. And all the outlets covered with one man.
Loops it. Tucker nearly picks it off.
Well, you've got to make sharp, crisp passes.
And the Knicks are going to take a timeout. 2:42 to go here first half. The Celtic lead stays at 4. And Jerry Cheevers for all the action. Then on Sunday night, the NHL Game of the Week. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. It's all part of the triple-headed weekend fall preview here on Sports Channel. Hope you'll stay with us all season long. Jackson aggressively out on DJ. He's got nowhere to go. And Bird comes to the ball. Bumped by Tucker. Larry will fire. Walker the rebound. Outlet to Jackson. Knicks can get back to within 2. Trent Tucker will take it. Rebound Parrish. Up ahead to Danny. 7 rebounds for the Chiefs so far in the game. Roberts the trailer. McHale trying to get some position. They find him. Dennis cuts to the basket. Was wide open. Kevin didn't see him. Hits the turnaround.
And just that cut along the baseline made the double team evaporate around McHale. He read it perfectly, and that opened up his favorite fall-away jumper.
Eddie Lee Wilkins. Kevin McHale is going to be called for the bumper foul.
I think Eddie Lee would have to show me a couple of those first before I start.
Go ahead, bump him. All right, Brian Shaw is going to come in for the final 139 here in the second quarter. Brian with 4 points in the first quarter. Danny Ainge will sit down. Danny's hit a couple of threes tonight. He has a total of 8. There you see Eddie Lee Wilkins, who had a good year in the CBA last year and signed a contract with the Knicks during training camp. Rod Strickland comes back in, and Mark Jackson sits down.
Eddie Lee was with the Knicks a few years ago, and
yes, he was.
Showed some promise, but not enough to keep him in the lineup for the last couple of years. They are searching for a capable backup to Patrick Ewing, who's been saddled with 3 personals here early in the first half. The Celtics have not really been able to capitalize on that.
Inside Parrish. Back outside to Shaw. Brian, a good move. Finds McHale open. Short with the hook. DJ, a strong effort on the board. Out of bounds. It's going to be Boston ball.
That was a real pro move by Brian Shaw. He went the extra dribble to make sure that defender would pick him up. The extra defender pick him up to open up that shot for McHale. Those are unfamiliar shots for Kevin McHale.
Robert turns and lost the handle on the way to the hoop. Here comes Strickland in the middle. Celtics are back defensively. Strickland nowhere to go. Dumped it off. Oakley got the bucket and a foul. That's what you call your power move.
Well, I wouldn't call it a power move. I'd call it a move out of my way move. He is not a leaper, but he's big. But he's big, and he uses his body very effectively. If you allow him to start to jump and you play off of him, you can block his shot. Don't get close to him because he'll swoop it by you.
9 first half points for Oakley.
Here is the press that the Celtics have not really successfully demolished. This type of defense works usually pretty well early in the season when you don't have an awful lot of time to practice against it.
Good hustle play there by Trent Tucker from behind to knock the ball away from Bird. Jimmy Paxson back in. Dennis Johnson sits down. Dennis Johnson hasn't taken a shot yet in this game. Ryan Shaw trying to cut underneath. Celtics will inbound again.
We have not seen Brad Lohaus yet.
And we haven't. Paxson finds Shaw. There's the double on McHale. Good cut by Shaw. Blocked by Wilkins. Loose on the floor. Out of the pack, Walker gives to Strickland. Nice move by Strickland. Got the layup.
3-on-2, and I'll tell you, that kid reads the defense extremely well.
Knicks down by just 1, 48-47.
Oh, Eddie, relax.
I think if you heard what we just heard. That was Joe Crawford saying, Eddie, relax.
Well, one of the big advantages of playing this up-tempo defense the way Rick Pitino is doing it is that you can be very aggressive. You don't have to worry about fouls except with your key players like Ewing.
Paxson is open, short with it. Loose ball picked off by Oakley.
Now, these are all very difficult shots that the Celtics are taking right now. And those are the type of shots they're going to show all season long. They are not set shots. They're not shots that you can practice, you know, game in and game out from 18 feet. Some of them are in-between shots. And they're going to have to start to make those a lot more than they have tonight.
Strickland all the way, but then couldn't convert the layup. Wilkins, though, hits it at the buzzer. And the Knicks go to the locker room with the lead. Eddie Lee Wilkins, right place, right time. And at the half, the Knicks are up by 1, 49-48. Real quickly, as you can see, the Knicks have got 51 shots up to Boston's 45. The Celtics 11 turnovers, the Knicks 9. So that kind of evened out as the quarter or the half went by. The Knicks, though, winning the battle on the boards 25-22.
Now that's kind of really interesting, winning the battle of the boards as you're looking at the Celtics scoring. When you really know how to use this style of play, the up-tempo, you really get better rebounding position. The Celtics standing flat-footed, not really taking advantage of openings quick enough.
Oakley delivering 9 points and 7 rebounds in his first game as a Knick. Second half's coming up here at the Garden. The Knickerbockers are up by 1. Mark Jackson, Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, Gerald Wilkins, Johnny Newman on the floor for the Knicks. The Celtics with the regular starting 5. McHale's got Oakley. Wilkins, who was pretty quiet in that first half. Oakley misses outside, Ainge the rebound.
Dennis Johnson is trying to gain control of this offense a little bit and make sure that they can pick on certain players if at all possible. One of them will be Patrick Ewing and the other one will be Oakley.
Danny, tough fall away. Won't go down. Parrish is there, gets the little baby hook.
Ewing just mistimed that rebound. And look how quickly the Knicks will put it back in your face. You better get back on defense against these Knicks this year.
Gerald Wilkins wants to go on Danny. Misses over the top. Parrish a strong rebound. Popped by Oakley, and Roberts not moving.
And needless to say, this is the one Celtic where there isn't a proven backup. Well, all season long, anytime this man goes down, there's going to be a lot of frowns, a lot of concern. And he just had an outstanding exhibition season, playing limited minutes. Really showed well. Let's take a look at what happened as he spreads out for the rebound. Kind of just bumps into Charles Oakley's numbers.
Yep. Kind of came down on his hip, it looked like.
Is that what it was?
Come on, you break it.
Well, he'll be all right.
Roberts going to sit on the bench for a couple of minutes. Mark Akers will come in.
Gonna catch his breath. That's not one of those injuries, though, that they hold up fingers. How many fingers do you see?
No.
So he'll be back.
Staying away from this. 50-49. 10:49 to go here, third quarter. Ainge cuts to the hoop on Ewing. Got the layup.
Now that's a smart move by Danny Ainge. Knowing Ewing has 3 personals, not going to be aggressive. He just made a half-hearted attempt to block the shot.
Ewing wants to go. Looked like he traveled again. Akers takes off the miss.
Boy, that double team coming down the slot really stopped Ewing from taking it strong to the hoop.
McHale is doubled back to Ainge. Danny looking inside. Now back out to DJ. Akers is open.
Mismatch.
There it is. Spins, goes by Jackson, puts it up, hits it off the glass, right in Ewing's face.
Now that's something that Dennis Johnson has that Brian Shaw doesn't have. The experience to stop the play and search out the best advantage.
22nd timeout called by the Knicks. The Celtics have come out quickly with 6 straight. They lead by 5, 54-49.
Well, the first half they played with their feet and try to outquick the Knicks. Now they're starting to play a little bit more with their head.
It'll be a classic matchup next Wednesday night, November 9th, as Michael Jordan leads the Chicago Bulls against the Celtics. And we'll have That high-flying rascal right there. Michael Jordan live on Sports Channel starting at 7:15 with the pregame show. That's the Bulls and Celtics live from the Boston Garden exclusively here on Sports Channel. And again, to all our viewers who are with us for the first time tonight, welcome and stay with us for the season. This is going to be a very interesting Boston Celtic basketball team.
A growing experience for all 12 players on the Celtics roster.
That's going to be a foul on Mark Akers. Pretty slick pass, too, by Mark Jackson.
Well, I will tell you, if I were the coach, I'd yank him on that.
Jackson?
Yes, because that's not the type of pass that a big man can handle. It was lucky they blew the whistle, or Akers would have come up with that pass.
Ewing wants it. Gets it.
Good poise that time. He read the defense.
Letting some of the Knicks go by. Now he gives it to Dennis Johnson up ahead to Bird. Larry, good fake on Ewing. Drives, hits.
And Ewing once again timid on the defense.
Gerald Wilkins spins in for two.
Boy, you better get 3 people back fast, because the Knicks will outlet that ball, and they've got some speed to push it.
Akers, Celtics have a 2-on-1. If Akers can get it up, there it is. And there's the foul on Mark Jackson as he went after Kevin McHale.
That's the ideal way of beating a press. Beat the tough part of the press, the traps in the backcourt. Once you advance the ball, it becomes a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 situation. And a good pass back to McHale by Bird. Jackson had no other choice but to foul McHale.
Robert Parrish is the leading Boston scorer. Kevin McHale, if he hits this next free throw, can tie him at 13. 2 other Celtics in double figures, Bird and Ainge at 10 apiece. Kevin will stay at 12. For the moment, Boston leads by 4. Newman inside Oakley. That's a 3 by Gerald Wilkins.
Well, he's probably got more moves than his brother. May not be as gifted an athlete, although he's a pretty darn good athlete himself.
Can't fly as high.
But he has really got, I think, a better shooting touch than Tommy.
Yeah. I agree with you, he has more moves, too. He's just closer to the ground. Newman got a piece of Bird shot there. Ewing gets it up to Jackson. Jackson looking for the quick push. Finds Newman, and Bird blocked the ball. Loose on the floor, picked off Wilkins. He throws it up, and it goes.
That time, the Knicks had a 4-on-3, and they used it to good advantage. Bird just luckily made a good move. The Knicks ever ready to rebound off a miss on the fast break.
Knicks back up by 1 with 8 minutes to go in the third. Ainge off to McHale. He got 2. Ewing. It goes. He draws a foul.
Now, there's no way that Ewing should be able to out-hustle Mark Akers up the court. Ewing just got out in front of Akers and never let Akers get back into the play.
8th point of the night for Patrick Ewing, and Robert Parrish is going to come back in the game.
Number 44, Sidney Green, replacing Charles Oakley. The New York number 72, Robert Parrish, replacing Mark Akers.
This will be a challenging coaching job all season long for Jimmy Rogers. How to try to teach the veteran players a more up-tempo game, pass quicker, think quicker, and how to really capitalize on the young legs of the rookie-type players, second-year players.
Ainge comes around the screen, now cuts to the hoop. Parrish looking for help. Puts it on the floor, fires. Rebound Mark Jackson. Jackson with that quick push. Good look for Ewing. Blocked, and a foul is called. Kevin McHale thought he had ball, but Ewing will go to the line.
Well, Mark Jackson did an exceedingly intelligent thing that time. He advanced the ball as far as the defense would let him, and as soon as somebody made a commitment, Ewing made himself available to the pass, and there you see the strong move, which necessitated a foul.
Bird got the foul for the hand in the back.
The first half by the Celtics was all running. Run, and they didn't do it that well. Trying to play a little bit more intelligent second half by incorporating the things that they did well last year and still run. Now that's the ideal. Let's see if it works.
Ewing now in double figures with 10. Knicks by 3. Knicks led 8-0 to begin the game. The Celtics caught them 21-20. Bird cut to the hoop, and he got a bucket and a foul from Sidney Green.
Well, Bird knows how to use a pick as probably one of the top 5 in the league, and he comes off, and Sidney Green never does make the adjustment off McHale, as Wilkins got picked off beautifully by McHale.
Sidney Green picking up his 4th. Kenny Walker comes back into the game. Larry at the free throw line.
Now you can see that Rick Pitino is not enamored of or worried about playing with smaller players. He's willing to play with a small center. He put Wilkins in there a little bit, but he did have Sidney Green and Oakley in at one time, and Newman at the other forward.
Pretty small team on the floor right now.
Yep, except for Ewing. This man is making a commitment to using speed.
Ewing wants it. Rammed home by John. The Celtic bench, Jimmy Rogers at half court looking for an offensive goaltend he's not going to get.
Well, that's what happens when you start double teaming somebody from the weak side. There's only one man left there to block out.
James kicks it out to DJ inside Kevin. Back to Dennis. He'll take his first shot and hit it.
Well within his range. Very comfortable shot for Dennis.
Tied at 64. 6:35 to go here, third quarter. Inside Ewing. Wants to go. Goes in the face of it all. Now kicks it out. Wilkins for 3. And he hits it.
Danny Ainge was trying to make the double team on Ewing, make the steal, and was way away from Wilkins.
Bird, little runner, hits off the glass.
Tough shot. Bird wanted the foul. Looking to the rookie official. Gets nothing.
Still talking to him up the other end of the floor. Knicks by 1. Halfway through this third quarter. Celtics led by 4 after 1. Knicks led by 1 at the half. Again, it's Ewing. Kicking it out Jackson this time. Back to Patrick. Won't go. Rebound McHale. Boston a chance for the lead. DJ finds Robert. Chief goes. Back rims it. McHale trying to keep it alive. Good hustle by Ainge. Loose though. Out of bounds. Boston ball. And we're going to have a timeout. 5:38 to go in the third. It'll be Celtic ball with the Knicks up by 1. The Heinsohn report. Was this an offensive goaltend? Yes, it was.
Yeah, 3 officials, right? Nothing's changed.
They don't lose by a point here tonight. Ainge eyeball to eyeball with Jackson. Gets the foul and almost got the bucket.
Well, the Celtics now, if there is not a layup on that fast break, they are settling into that offense they used effectively last year. And they're trying to pick the Knicks apart, use the best matchup. That time they try to isolate against Mark Jackson.
Jackson going to the bench and Strickland in.
You know, it's not an easy thing to get a team to really run and develop that fast break style, that up-tempo style. Everything is faster. Things fly by your face a lot faster. You don't see openings. The shots are a little bit different than you're used to. It's either layup, sometimes it's the in-between shot, the 12-footer. You got to be a pretty good athlete to do that. And the veteran 5 of the Celtics have really not played that style in about 3 years.
Newman launches another. Kept alive by Oakley. Good hustle play. Bird, though, with the quick hand. DJ looking for the quick push. Aims the trailer. Finds Larry. Finds Kevin. Harris can't tip it in, but he draws a foul. Looks like it might be Oakley or Gerald Wilkins. Take the pick.
That was a real good hard push with intelligence. They read the defense perfectly. And Bird made a great play to Kevin McHale. Ewing really made an intimidating defensive move. Now we're in a situation where Shaw, let's see how much poise he has to run the team, and if it's a good fast break opportunity, take advantage of it. If not, get it to the right guy in the low post.
Harry Bird hits around a Parrish screen. 17 now for Bird, who's got 9 here in the third quarter. Boston by a hoop. 4:40 to go third.
settling more for the half-court offense here in this third quarter.
The Knicks are allowing that. Knicks aren't pressuring as much.
Nope.
Strickland misses. There's Oakley keeping it alive. Heck of a play by Oakley. Picked off though by Parrish. Puts it on the floor to Bird. Right side Paxson. Back to Parrish. Little head fake on Ewing, out of bounds. No. Boston ball as one official overrules the other.
And could have been a foul too, I'll tell you, because somebody banged Robert Parrish from behind. I don't know who it was. I'll tell you, Paxson had one of those tweener shots, about 8 feet, turned it down.
Bird finds Parrish on the roll. Robert, no. Strickland stepped on the line. He gave the Celtics a break there as Parrish had lost it out of bounds.
Well, the pass was below his waist, and all big guys have difficulty handling that and trying to sight the basket at the same time.
Into McHale in traffic. Yeah, the foul.
One of Oakley's weaknesses, he cannot jump. And against a guy like Kevin McHale, who is significantly taller, plus the long arms, the Celtics made one of those experienced passes. Now, you just watch. The ball went over the head of Oakley, and Oakley had a foul. Ewing tried to help out on the shot to bat it away, but much too late.
Kevin McHale now at 17 to tie Bird for the Celtic lead. 7 straight for the Celtics. They lead by 5. 4 minutes to go here, third. Shaw is up on Strickland. Bird chasing Newman. Goes to Ewing. Ewing wants it. Ewing doesn't get it. Parrish takes it away from Oakley. Up ahead, Paxson. Inside, McHale. Brian Shaw will take it. Rebound ripped off Ewing. Oakley looking for something to develop. Hey, Patrick really loses spot to get that pass. There's Ewing with that sweep again. He drew a foul.
That time, everybody was on the same side of the floor as Ewing got the ball, so that when he swooped to the middle, there really was nobody over there to cut off the middle and cause him a problem to pull up. So had that nice rhythm to that shot, forced Parrish to foul him.
In my imagination, T, or do people seem to be taking a lot of steps with the ball here?
That looked like one of those.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, we've got 3 officials, and you never can tell what their the latest thing is. They've decided to either call or not call. Good hustle there by Trent Tucker, but it'll be Boston ball.
There's the press. Now, once you get double teamed, Robert Parrish is the outlet man against the press. Now, they want to put him in there because he's a big target, but McHale was the man that they try to get it back to. Here's the 2 guys that ought to be involved more in the handling of the ball against the press.
Kicked out of bounds by Strickland.
Very pesky defense by the Knicks.
And Celtic fans, this break in the action's a good time. It's not really a break, but it might be a good time to get yourself a nice cold Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Jim Paxson as he knocks it down.
Well, I'll tell you. And look how quickly the Knicks come right back at him.
Ewing gets the roll.
And Ewing, after taking a swat at that shot, just kept hitting up the court, much like Robert Parrish does.
Celtics by 3. Shaw double team finds Paxson. There's McHale open. Little 15-footer. Rebound on the weak side. Johnny Newman. He starts up himself.
4 on 3.
Newman off to Ewing. He hits the jump shot.
I'll tell you, that rest on the bench with Patrick Ewing has really enabled him to have his stamina here in this tail end of the third quarter.
Bird will try. Misses outside. Strickland the rebound. Knicks a chance to grab the lead back at 2:20 to go in the third. Ewing. Parrish got a piece, but it didn't matter. And Patrick Ewing.
Strong move. And I will tell you right now, Larry Bird is tired and Robert Parrish is tired.
Patrick Ewing isn't. 14 third quarter points for Ewing. Knicks by 1. Operators are standing by. Stay with us for the season. Brad Lohaus touching the ball for the first time this year.
Yeah, and the Celtics with a small crew in there right now. Lewis playing the guards, the quick forward spot. Bird the power forward spot against a very small Knicks team.
The Knicks have Oakley, Strickland, Newman, Tucker and Eddie Lee Wilkins. The Celtics counter with Brian Shaw, Jim Paxson, Brad Lohas, Larry Bird, and Reggie Lewis. Eddie Lee Wilkins stripped nicely by Reggie Lewis, but he picked it up, got it back, and threw it in. Reggie Lewis a little room, lost the dribble. Inside Lohas, foul Eddie Lee Wilkins over the back. Eddie Lee is an aggressive guy.
New York foul was by number 45, Eddie Lee Wilkins, his third personal foul, penalty situation.
Knicks are over the limit. Kenny Walker is going to come into the game. Charles Oakley goes out, so the Knicks get smaller.
Kenny Walker replaces Charles Oakley with the Knicks.
Well, when you're going to run the type of defense that the Knicks are going to run right now, you really want smaller people with quick feet.
Celtics are having a hard time with tonight at the free throw line. Lohas makes the second, his first point of the night. Ronnie Grandison and Ramon Rivas, the only two Celtics who have not seen action in this opening night game. Knicks by a deuce, 77-75. Lohas to steal. Up ahead, the pass. Paxson tracks it down. Couldn't quite handle it.
Well,
wasn't that bad a pass.
Good hustle play that time. I don't know who broke it up, but
Lohas.
No, I don't mean that. I mean on the Knicks, because it was really a tough catch made by Paxson that time.
Here's Paxson. He's got the steal. Goes on Tucker and draws a foul.
There's the no layup rule. Great play by Paxson that time to just take the ball right out of Trent Tucker's hands. You watch him overplay now. He doesn't have those quick feet, but boy, he knows when to flick those hands out there and then picks it up. Tucker, who made a bad move, comes back and makes another one with the foul.
The Celtics 12 of 20 from the free throw line tonight, 60%.
Well, Mark Akers now has replaced Larry Bird, and they're really going to see if this team can handle a press, because Rick Pitino's saying, hey, these guys are green as grass. Let's throw our best press defense against them.
Strickland takes it all away, doesn't get it. Reggie Lewis was up there, but Newman got the bucket and a foul on the follow.
When somebody penetrates and everybody goes to the penetration and the shot is not made, everybody on the Knicks will climb the boards. Well, you better make sure that you have a clean shot at blocking that. And Strickland is an exceptional penetrator.
Newman 4 of 12 from the field. And he has himself 13 points altogether. Knicks by 3. They led by 1 at the half. Reggie's open. Little fake. Won't go down. Akers is there. That goes.
And he got a nudge by Eddie Lee, too. No foul.
And now the Knicks are going to look for the final shot of the quarter, leading by 1. Shaw out on Strickland. And Strickland loses the ball. Gets it though. Tucker hits a 3.
Well, I'll tell you.
Found the right guy. The Celtics have got 3 seconds. 2. Reggie's going to fire, and Newman got the block. And the Knick lead is 4 after 3. 83 for New York. 79 for Boston. Are up by 4 as we enter the fourth quarter. 83-79, or it'll be Celtic ball. And don't forget, the Boston Garden will be rocking next Friday night, November 11th, when the Detroit Pistons come to town. We'll have this early season showdown live on Sports Channel, beginning with a pregame 7:45, the Pistons and the Celtics. Fourth quarter underway. Lohas, Akers, Paxson, Lewis, and Shaw out on the floor for the Celtics, and they turn it over as Johnny Newman has the quick hands.
Well, Shaw just could not find an open man, and he was dribbling laterally, and it was an easy flick that time by Newman.
Shaw up now on Strickland. Newman wants to go to the hoop. What else? Walker misses the attempted jam at the follow. Bounce pass Reggie Lewis. Reggie trying to get a shot off. Back rims it, gets his own rebound, back up again. That won't go. Loose. Eddie Lee Wilkins has got it. Celtics hit the offensive board, but hit it unsuccessfully. Strickland. Nowhere to go, kicking it out Tucker. And we've got a 3-second violation on it.
One of the good things the last trip up the court was that they formed that 3-man attack, the Celtics, as fast as I've seen in a long time.
Akers coming out to give a little help. Here's Lewis.
Just have to learn to use that speed a little bit better. Feel more comfortable with what they're doing.
Brad Lohaus finds Shaw, and Bryan got the hook shot.
Heads-up play by Brad Lohaus. Fife got a new haircut, though, didn't he?
He did.
Can't call him Fifi anymore, huh?
Oh, about 20 pounds over the summer, too, but frankly did not have a great camp.
One of the good things right now is if this unit can keep the game on an even keel, Parrish, Bird, and McHale will have had a nice long rest. And that was some of the problems that was plaguing Casey Jones last year. Forced to play that first unit inordinate number of minutes.
Mark Akers made Eddie Lee Wilkins pay for his move to the hoop. Mark Jackson's back in. Strickland goes to the bench, and now Sidney Green will come in.
You know, one of the problems Jimmy's going to face is that all the big guys, as I mentioned earlier, find it very difficult to play an up-tempo game for 8 minutes at a clip, full out. So if you add that up, it's 32 minutes. So you got to make some substitutions. You can't wait till the guy really wears down and then throw somebody in there. You got to let them go full out so they don't start pacing themselves. And he has to find the level of each one of these guys, how far and how long they can go. McHale, how long can he go full speed? Bird, how long can he go full speed? Very important things for Jimmy Rogers to determine.
Wilkins makes them both. Knicks by 4. Akers swallowed up by the press, finds Lohaus. Lohaus, a lot of open court in front of him, and takes it over the 10-second line himself. Celtics are down to 12 seconds, though, as they set their offense. Now they're down to 8. Brian Shaw tipped away from behind with 4 on the shot clock by Johnny Newman.
Well, Johnny Newman, knowing that this young man is a rookie, Shaw thought he had a move on him. One of the things you do once you beat a man is put the ball out in front of you, or at least further out on the side, so the man can't poke it away from behind.
Jim Paxson's going to have to get it off. He does, and it's picked off by Green. Celtics are at 2 on the shot clock. Here comes Trent Tucker. Now Jackson. Eddie Lee Wilkins trying to set up, and Akers trying to push him out of the spot. They want to go to Wilkins. There he is. Back and over the head of Mark Jackson. And now Boston's going to go to their bench as Danny Ainge is up at the scorer's table, along with Dennis Johnson. Robert Parrish also up off his seat on the bench, and that immediately gets Patrick Ewing and Gerald Wilkins up off the Knick bench. So there's a lot of people up at the scorer's table. The Celtics will have one more trip with this unit out there.
One of the important things that when you play this upbeat style, now you know Patrick Ewing didn't play an awful lot in the first half, and we'll be able to play an awful lot here in the second half and still be aggressive, and the Knicks were not hurt by his absence. The up-tempo style really makes lesser ball players seem to play better, and that's what Jimmy Rogers is aiming at.
Johnny Newman spread out in the lane. Jackson nowhere to go, finds Wilkins, and a reach-in foul is called on Akers. Wilkins was in the paint forever.
You could tell that Jackson has been in the league at least 1 year. I'll tell you, he got gobbled up by a double team and never lost his composure. And how he slipped that pass back to Eddie Lee is beyond me.
All right, the Celtics make some wholesale changes. Brad Lohaus will stay out there, but he's joined by Parrish, Bird, Ainge, and Johnson. Patrick Ewing will not get into the game at this moment as Eddie Lee Wilkins is at the free throw line. Gerald Wilkins is back in.
Now we will see if the Celtics will revert to what they were doing last year. Slow the game down a little bit and work the best matchup. The best matchup right now is Robert Parrish being defended by this man, Eddie Lee.
Eddie Lee misses them both, and ball goes out of bounds off Brad Lohaus. Knicks get it back. Here comes Ewing, and Wilkins will sit down.
Well, now let's see if this matchup works. The Celtics, will they pit Robert Parrish against Patrick Ewing?
Yep.
I got Lojas being defended by Sidney Green.
Sidney Green with the ball, goes on Lojas, nearly lost it. Swallowed up in the baseline. Three-second violation called on Sidney Green.
Lojas really cut off the baseline on Sidney Green. That's the area that you really got to watch Lojas in the early part of the season. How effectively does he play the inside people?
Bird misses outside, and it pops over the basket. The Celtics a chance to tie with 9 minutes to go in the game. Here comes Oakley now back in.
You know, this rhythm, this up-tempo game, Bird might have to make the most dramatic adjustment of anybody.
I agree, to get his shots.
Yep. Or not just to get his shots, but to develop the rhythm. You know, when they ran that set offense, they'd run so many plays for him, and he'd execute them so perfectly, he'd get a rhythm in his shooting touch.
That's what I mean. Now he's got to get shots from different places.
Now he's got to get shots from different places, and maybe a little bit tougher, but there'll be more wide open shots.
Haynes and Wilkins matched up. Goes to Ewing, and offensive fouls called on Patrick Ewing, and that's number 4.
That was a great defensive play by Robert Parrish. He forced Patrick Ewing out with some good bumps and then was intelligent enough to lay off at just the right time.
Knicks take a timeout, 85-83, New York. .583 Knicks in this break, and the action ought to be a great time to break for the great taste of Bud Light. It's a big hit with fans everywhere because everything else is just alike.
You know, Mike, the Celtics look like a guy that went and bought a brand new suit and a pair of shoes, and the suit is too big and the shoes are too small. They look very uncomfortable with what they're doing.
Parrish a fall away, in and out, rebound, loose, taken away by Ainge from Oakley. Now they go to the floor. Jump ball is called. Lojas and Oakley, I believe. Oakley gets up like a fighter and loosens himself up, moves the arms around. Kevin McHale is shaking some powder on his hands over next to the Celtic bench. He'll be making his way to the scorer's table. 8:26 to go in the game. Joe Crawford, the lead official, says, come on, let's go. Tap is controlled by the Knicks. Ewing's got it. Now Jackson, Knicks by 2. Gerald Wilkins looking for an avenue to the hoop. Dennis Johnson's on Ewing in a switch.
What a great block out. What a great block out by Dennis Johnson to keep Ewing off that offensive glass.
Danny Ainge makes a move to the hoop, and Joe Crawford will foul off the ball. Mark Jackson picked it up. That's 4 on Mark Jackson, so he and Ewing play with 4. Just under 8 minutes to go in the game. Lojas sits down. McHale's in. Goes to Parrish. Chief wants to work on Ewing. Bumps off him. Loose on the floor. Robert picks it up and hits it.
Newman got him right on the arm.
15, and we're tied at 85. 15 for Parrish. There goes Newman.
Oh, what a move. What a great move, boy. He just slid through 3 of the Celtics.
Bird open in the corner for a jumper. That won't go. Rebound weak side. Nicely done by McHale. Holds it straight up and finds DJ.
And a mismatch. Gerald Wilkins defending against McHale.
That's where the Celtics want to go. There it goes. He's double teamed. Rolls it in.
And Wilkins just stayed in place. You got to contain this man. Don't let him penetrate. Mark Jackson or Newman.
Blocked by Parrish on the weak side, and he gets it out to DJ. Boston a chance for a lead. They haven't had one in a long time. Dennis Johnson finds Danny. Ainge will penetrate over the head to Bird. DJ looking for a cutter. Now goes to McHale, stripped by Newman from behind.
Larry Bird took Newman into the lane, and Newman alertly just helped quickly on the double team.
Jackson got the bucket and a foul from Robert Parrish.
Well, there goes that penetration. That's the one thing you can't let happen. Mark Jackson start to penetrate at this stage of the ball game. And Dennis Johnson just does not catch up to Jackson as he puts his foot on the pedal and takes it strong into Robert Parrish, who really just try to cut down the angle of attack and not really go for the block.
Third foul on Robert Parrish. Knicks go back up by 3. Jackson with the dozen. Here's the press. Nearly picked off by Jackson. Up it comes to McHale. Into Bird. Larry a turnaround. Hits it on the baseline. 19 for Bird. Wilkins finds Newman. He's going to the hoop. And he gets it.
Anybody with quickness can give Bird trouble. And Bird is out challenging Newman's outside shot. And Newman's going right by Larry.
DJ left open. He's 2 for 2 in the game.
Picking his spots, when to shoot.
Jackson, alley-oop, Ewing.
Jimmy Rogers wants a timeout.
Celtics get the ball over half court and call the time. 5:44 now to go in the game as Jimmy Rogers checks the scoreboard. It's Knicks by 3. With 5:44 to go, and here's the play that got Jimmy Rogers to call a timeout.
Remember talking about the stamina of the big guys? Well, Ewing spent an awful lot of time on the bench in the first half. He's ready to continue running, used to running. Robert Parrish has played a significant number of minutes at this point. Kind of let down a little bit to allow Ewing to beat him up the court, and Jackson took advantage of it.
Parrish takes the looping inbound pass. Dennis Johnson faces off against Newman. Bird trying to free himself on the baseline. Comes around a screen. Inside McHale, little jump hook won't go down. Parrish stripped. Loose ball tipped away. Newman and Wilkins.
4 on 3. 4 on 4.
Jackson nowhere to go. Knocked out of bounds by McHale.
You know, they're going to look at the paper tomorrow, regardless of what the score ends up being, and they're going to say, boy, the Celtics really had trouble with the Knicks, and there's no question that they have in this particular game. But the Knicks are more familiar with what they're trying to do than the Celtics are right now. And by the season's end, I think the Celtics will have this style down pat.
Ainge with the wild pass over the head of Dennis Johnson. Knicks continue to lead by 3 as we approach the 5-minute mark.
One of the toughest things for these veteran players is at this stage of the game, do I run or do I hold it up and take advantage of the matchup?
And Parrish is going to be called for the foul as he got the body on Patrick Ewing. Number 4 on the Chief. Ewing, who leads all scorers with 20 points, will step to the free throw line.
This style that the Knicks are playing is so familiar to Patrick Ewing from his Georgetown days. And it really brings out the best in him, his ability to run up and down the court. They got him out of the game in the first half, but were really not able to capitalize on his absence. Celtics having troubles in that first half, just coming up with a cohesive, up-tempo game.
5-point New York lead. Under 5 minutes to go in the game. Bird pops out. Wilkins chasing. Good bounce past Parrish. Won't go down for him. Gets it back and a foul. And it'll be on Oakley.
Celtics going more and more to their half-court set. And Bird on that pick-and-roll play. That's one of his favorites. And Parrish, after Ewing leaves, a ball right at the waist. Ewing has to pull. Parrish has to pull up, then slides back in for the rebound. And there's Oakley with the big bang.
Brian Shaw will be on the floor here for the next couple of minutes anyway. 4:40 to go. Danny Ainge sits down. Parrish rattles home the first. Chief has 16 unofficially. As we look at Brian Shaw, 16 rebounds also for Robert Parrish. 96-93, Knicks by 3. Celtics need a couple of stops here.
Well, the reason Brian Shaw is in at this point of the ball game is so that he can try and cut down on the penetration of Mark Jackson.
Jackson with a hoop, and he lays it in.
And that That time, Shaw just attacked him from the wrong side.
There's a trap on Dennis Johnson. Shaw looking inside. Parrish has got Jackson on him. And I believe the foul is going to be on Mark Jackson. Immediately was not too crazy about that matchup. That's 5 on Jackson. And that's going to get the rookie Rod Strickland up.
Now, this is really showing some faith in Strickland because there's only 4:12 left to go, and they feel that Jackson is very important in the last 2 minutes of the game, but he ought to have enough experience to know how to play without picking up that 6th foul.
Shaw's looking inside for McHale. There it goes. The double team on Kevin. Shaw will take it baseline, in and out. Rebound, McHale, back up and in.
And Strickland got caught on the switch, having to pick up McHale. No chance for the rebound.
And again, the Celtics look for the defensive stop, trailing by 3, 98-95. The Garden crowd tries to come to their aid. Oakley, deep jumper. Rebound ripped off by Gerald Wilkins. Bird doubles him. Newman's going to try a 3. Whistle and a foul, and the foul's going to go on Robert Parrish.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to see this. I really have to see this. It sure looked to me like Robert Parrish had a clean snatch of the ball. Let's take a look at it right of your screen. Whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
whoa, whoa. That was a hurting foul on Robert Parrish.
Sure
I'll
was.
tell you that.
Number 5 on Parrish, but more importantly, the Knicks with 3:28 to go can stretch their lead to 5. 24 for Ewing. Parrish up quick. Dennis Johnson will get 2 back in a hurry.
And Strickland made the cardinal mistake, went too far up the court, and Parrish just spotted Dennis Johnson, who alertly took off. Was all alone.
Celtics. Oh! Foul Dennis Johnson. Number 4. Boston over the limit. DJ
Now,
thought he had a pick.
let's see what happens here. Clean steal. Clean steal. Well, Joe Crawford is working with 2 young officials. And this is when you find out they're young. The last couple of minutes of a close game.
The lead is 3 as Trent Tucker comes into the ball game. Gerald Wilkins will go out.
One of the things that the veteran officials do is don't anticipate anything. And young officials, they anticipate too much. There it is again, wide open.
Dennis Johnson to the hoop. And Strickland takes him down in a hurry.
And I'll tell you, that should be one of those deliberate fouls right there. Although he's making a bid for the shot. Here's Bird, heads up on the trap as Dennis Johnson has just out-hustled everybody up the court. And as Strickland makes a bid for the ball, but boy, that was an awful hard foul. And there's Dennis holding on to his Achilles tendon. I told you this season's going to be exciting, didn't I?
You did. It is.
Until this whole style settles in and everybody gets the feel of what their role is, where their shots will be, get to work on those type of situations. Not going to come easy. It's going to be a lot of fun, though, watching.
2-point game, 101-99. Here comes Strickland. I'm amazed that Patino is going to go with his rookie and keep Mark Jackson on the bench.
Well, he'll bring him in the last 2 minutes.
He's up now. Ewing, long way from the hoop, wants it, hits it.
Big hoop.
26 for Patrick Ewing.
And I'm really surprised that Brian Shaw is still in the ball game at this particular point.
DJ didn't want to lose the dribble. Gives it up to Shaw. Into Parrish. Robin looks for a cutter. Now goes on Ewing himself. Takes a fall away. Back rims it. Shaw trying to get the rebound. Back to Dennis. DJ penetrates. Runner. Got the foul.
That's why they pay that man nice money. What a clutch play. Little up fake. Gets into the defense as nobody picks him up. Makes sure he takes the contact. Gets the shot off. Ends up with the foul from behind by Newman. It was Newman, wasn't it?
Misses the free throw. The Knicks lead stays at 2. Celtics again now need a stop as Jackson's back in the game with Oakley, Ewing, Wilkins, and Newman, the starting lineup for New York. Wilkins fires away off a pick and drills it.
A little weave that time. Old-time basketball by the Knicks.
15 for Gerald Wilkins. 4-point lead. Bird finds Parrish. Inside, Kevin McHale couldn't handle the pass. Big turnover on Boston. Under 2 to go now, and the Knicks will take a little time.
Well, we mentioned earlier that it's awfully difficult to play a masterful pressing team early in the season before they've had a chance to work on it. The Celtics have much more important things in the training camp than working on the press defense of the Knicks or any other team's press, as a matter of fact.
Jackson wants it. Won't go. Parrish the rebound. Bumped a couple of times. Gets it out to DJ. Celtics need a hoop this trip. They find Bird. He spins. Won't get down for him. Loose underneath. Foul Ewing. Number 5. And that was a break. As Bird missed the shot, but 90% of the time he's going to make. And now the Celtics are going to take a timeout. 1:25 to go in the game. Bird will be at the line when we come back.
I get paid.
5 seconds to go in the game. Knicks by 4. Larry Bird will be at the line. You can see the foul.
Well, here's Bird. He had his shooting hand wide open. That's an uncharacteristic miss. And there's Patrick Ewing just cleaning people out, trying to get the rebound. And Bird looking, saying, hey, how much do I got to take before you blow the whistle? I don't blame him. You know, for the last couple of years, people have had their hands all over Larry Bird. And I don't see him going to the foul line an awful lot for a guy that is as offensive-minded as he is and who will take it to the hoop like he does.
The Celtics are going to send out Bird, McHale, Parrish, Johnson, and Shaw. Patrick Ewing, Oakley, Jackson, Newman, Wilkins on the floor for the Knicks.
Well, this is pretty significant that Brian Shaw is in at this stage of the ballgame, a rookie. That means that Jimmy Rogers has pretty good confidence in Brian Shaw. And they're hoping that his defensive play, particularly on Mark Jackson, will keep Jackson out of the paint.
20th point of the night for Larry Bird, and more importantly, it gets the Celtics to within 3. Wishes in the second. 2-point game, 1:24 to go. These two teams went to overtime in a memorable game last year here at the Garden. Jackson against Shaw. Comes to Newman. Inside Ewing. He wants it. Back rim. Big rebound by Gerald Wilkins, who's had a couple of them here in the last couple of minutes.
Well, he just got by Dennis Johnson and positioned himself. That's one of those guards that really hurt you on the glass.
Wilkins now with the ball, wants to shoot it, goes to the hoop, misses the dunk, rebound off to Shaw. Celtics can tie. Shaw, coast to coast, won't go down. Parrish, yes, and a foul.
Well, he may be a rookie, but there was great confidence that time in Brian Shaw in his ability to take it strong to the hoop at a key time. Look at him. He's got his head up right into the pack, figuring that he's got an angle and can get over Mark Jackson. And Parrish with the real big hustle effort back into play on the break for the tip on the miss.
In and out, tied at 105. And the Knicks want a time. 40 seconds to go here in the Boston Garden. And we're tied at 105. Robert Parrish with 20 points and unofficially 18 rebounds tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, he's not going to play as many minutes this season as he did last year. This style could really help him. I think one of the big problems the Celtics will have for about a month is finding how to rotate the people in and out of the ball game effectively so that they don't lose tempo. The next problem that they're trying to iron out is a smoother handling of the ball in this up-tempo game where you got to think twice as fast. I think right now, as we look at the Celtics, they're kind of more worried about Patrick Ewing in that low post. And will he get the ball? And Brian Shaw probably will be forced trying to keep Mark Jackson out of the paint.
And a quick reminder here, Sports Channel's triple header weekend fall preview continues tomorrow night when the Hartford Whalers host the Vancouver Canucks at 7:30. Join Rick Peckham and Jerry Cheevers for all the action. And then on Sunday night, it's the NHL game of the week as the Pittsburgh Penguins face off with the Philadelphia Flyers. That's at 7 o'clock. It's all part of the triple header weekend fall preview right here on Sports Channel. A look at Casey Jones. First time in a long time Case has had a chance to sit in the stands and watch a basketball game.
Well, you know, a lot of people criticized Casey last year for not using the bench. And I really believe that that bench was not ready to be a contributor. And trying to integrate this up-tempo style was a major adjustment, as you're finding out tonight, that Jimmy Rogers is trying to incorporate, rightly so, after two key players have had at least 1 year of experience.
All right, the Knicks have Newman, Gerald Wilkins, Patrick Ewing, Mark Jackson, Charles Oakley on the floor. Brian Shaw, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, Dennis Johnson for the Celtics. Here comes Mark Jackson. Shaw will pick him up.
And it's very important that Shaw does not foul Jackson. Just play him straight away. Don't let him get in the paint.
Newman wants to go to the hoop. Left-handed leaner goes down.
Well, I'll tell you, that kid has got no conscience, and he's roaming around there because Bird is having trouble keeping up with his quickness.
Celtics need a bucket to tie.
And the Celtics are going to go right at Newman.
They want to go to Bird. Larry comes out for the ball. Backs his way in on Newman. Goes around him. No, says the official. Foul will be on Newman. Bird will be at the line. A chance to tie with 14 seconds to go. Another look.
Well, they had to wait a little bit, and Bird had to pop out to get the ball so he could go one-on-one on Newman. Mark Jackson's coming over to help out. Bird spots that, and Newman made the reach from behind.
He fell down is what he did. He tried to say that he got hooked and was thrown to the ground viciously. What does John call it? That's a Stanislavski.
John, believe it or not, you know that years ago when I was doing the play-by-play, that was my line.
We're tied at 107 as Larry made them both. The Knicks will not look for a timeout. They'll look to win the game. Jackson taking the ball on Shaw. Dumps it off. Oakley will shoot it. Long rebound. Overtime.
Well, everybody went to Mark Jackson, and Oakley was positioned up with what has to be as easy a shot if I were a basketball player. Of course, the last shot of a ball game is never easy, but it was a 15-footer, wide open.
Shot at about 18 feet, though.
Oh, yes, he did. Those fingers don't let the ball roll off at the end when they're last shots of the game, unless you've got ice in your veins.
It's a great vantage point that Tom and I have here at the Garden as we sit over the first overhang, but we had a perfect angle, and as soon as that shot left Charles Oakley's hand, you knew there was a rebound to be had here. He launched that rascal. Let's take a look again.
Here's Shaw trying to contain Jackson. A nice pick coming up by Oakley, and now Kevin McHale respects the possibility of a penetration into the paint, and Jackson sees McHale, and there's Oakley right at the elbow of the foul line. It's wide open, but boy, I'll tell you, he didn't want to let that ball go.
He didn't, did he?
There was no follow through on that shot.
All right, so as we did once last year, the Celtics and Knicks go to overtime at the Garden. Last year, many will remember that game where the Celtics were 27 points down in the third quarter Came back to win in overtime on a Darren Day tip-in, if I remember
Right.
That's a blast from the past, eh?
Everybody's going to say, wow, this is great basketball in the NBA. The Knicks taking the Celtics in the home opener into an overtime. And I see the Knicks at the peak of their style right now. At the peak of their style, they've had Rick Pitino's instruction under their belt for a full year. The only guy that hasn't really gotten into the swing of things is Charles Oakley. But the Celts bring it to an overtime, and they are like on page 3 of the fast break primer.
It'll be a classic matchup next Wednesday night, November 9th, as Michael Jordan leads the Chicago Bulls against the Celtics. We'll have all the high-flying action live on Sports Channel starting at 7:15 with the pregame show. That's the Bulls and Celtics live from the Garden on Sports Channel next Wednesday night. And there is the tally of the evening, 107-107. Now fouls will become a factor. Robert Parrish is playing with 5. Mark Jackson and Patrick Ewing are both playing with 5. 5 minutes of overtime.
You know, one of the things that the matchups, Bird is playing now the quick forward. The last several years, he's always played the power forward, and Kevin McHale has more or less defended the quicker player because he could use his size and his long arms and not get beaten. So this is a little departure in the defensive matchups that have been in the past.
Official trying to get Mark Jackson to stay in one place for the jump ball, and the tap was controlled by the Knicks. Stolen on the way up.
Poor throw. Poor toss. They should have tossed it up again.
Gerald Wilkins, pretty good up fake. Now tries the glass. Won't go. Rebound. Loose. He's got it. McHale. Out to Shaw. Celtics chance for first blood in the overtime. They find Bird. He wants it. Got it.
That's great fast break basketball, and that's where Brian Shaw can really help you. He reads the defense very well.
Newman on one of his forays to the hoop, and it's knocked out of bounds.
All right, when Newman hits a couple outside shots, you just have to respect that ability to hit it and go out and get them. And Bird just does not have the quickness to stay with Newman.
Bird falls down. Newman to the hoop. Blocked underneath by Brian Shaw. Celtics by 2, looking for 4 with 4:20 to go in overtime. Shaw confidently calls out a play. Bird wants it. In and out. Rebound Oakley. It comes quickly Newman. Backs himself up over the three-point line. Inside Ewing. Little turnaround. Goes. Boy, Patrick's had an outstanding game. He's got 28.
Boy, and he got great position on Robert Parrish, and he set out huge section of that first half.
Bird spins away from Newman. Easy little shot. He's short with it. Loose ball. Picked off by Newman. Wilkins to Jackson. Jackson to the hole. Won't go down. Picked off Shaw. Looks to run.
He's looking for some help. Who's he going to give it to? Nobody was really with him.
Parrish comes now. Back to Shaw. Couldn't handle the pass, but tracked it down.
Parrish hit him in the knees.
Sure did. DJ knocks down a jumper. Dennis Johnson 5 for 5 in the game. Wilkins waves a finger.
I have not really called Gerald Wilkins' number an awful lot tonight.
Newman thinks they always call his number.
Bird is really having his hands full with Newman as soon as Newman puts it on the floor. That time he tried to take a swipe at the ball and tie him up before he could really make a strong move to the basket.
First in the overtime, so no one shooting. Knicks to inbound. Fresh 24 in the shot clock. Wilkins. Picked off Parrish. No call underneath. Bird gets tripped by Newman on the way up the floor.
Well, I want to tell you, these three officials, there was an out-and-out foul by Newman who tripped Bird, who would have been wide open.
And Larry's not at all happy with the new guys with the whistle. 111-109. Boston by 2. 2 to go in the first overtime. 111-109. Celtics by 2. Brian Shaw, big play here.
And that's why he's in the ball game at this point, as Newman just eludes Bird. Parrish he guides by Parrish, and who's there? A guard for the shot block. And Parrish comes up with it. That's a fine, fine play.
Robert Parrish with 20 points and 21 rebounds in the game. Russell-like numbers you get up there in the 20s.
Yes, yes.
Well, Brian, welcome to the NBA there, son.
I'll tell you, this is some kind of confidence Jimmy Rogers is showing in Brian Shaw.
Here you see the folks who can't afford another foul. Boston ball, a chance to go up 4 in the overtime. DJ swallowed up. Just gets through the pack, is tripped, and Joe Crawford with the call.
At least Joe knows what a foul is, I think, at the end of the ball game. These two guys are, well, brand new officials. You got to let them mellow a little bit, I guess.
Good pass into McHale, back to Shaw. Now DJ looks up at the shot clock. Plenty of time, 19 seconds, 2:33 on the game clock. Bird comes around a screen, hits outside.
Big shot. A lot of poise by that Shaw that time to execute that pass to Bird, who just timed the cut and used the pick beautifully.
Celtics now, they come up with a stop, can try to put this one close to the basket, but a foul is called as Bird came over the back of Jackson.
Well, Joe Crawford right now is starting to really assert himself as the experienced official that he is.
The official.
Yes. The other two guys are going to let him make the calls.
Knicks want to go to Ewing, who's battling with Parrish.
Oh.
Wilkins penetrates, misses a runner, a loose ball. Shaw's got it.
Extra rebounder in there, too.
Up it comes to DJ. Celtics can go up by 6 if they convert here. McHale to Shaw. Plenty of time in the shot clock. 12. Kevin swoops through, a runner goes.
Heads up play by Kevin.
Knicks want time.
The last play, offensive play. Here we go, and here comes Kevin McHale just swooping by as Oakley had to switch out on him and just kind of let him glide by. Not an easy shot by McHale. But I would tell you one thing. Brian Shaw has shown great poise here in a pressure cooker situation for a rookie opening night, and really has accorded himself beautifully. Now, there may be a lot of things written tomorrow about this game, and it looked a little bit helter-skelter and what have you. But I definitely think Jimmy Rogers is on the right track. What he's trying to do, it will enable him to incorporate the likes of Brian Shaw and Lohaus and Reggie Lewis more effectively into the lineup. The real problem, believe it or not, is the veteran 5 acquiring or breaking some old habits and acquiring some new ones.
Brian Shaw, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block. Celtics have outscored the Knicks 22-11 since Brian Shaw came into the game with 4:25 left in regulation.
Larry Bird had a little bit to do with it, and what's surprising to me is that he is...
Timing's everything.
Yes, but he's executing the set offense. Dennis Johnson has really kind of put the ball in his hands and let him be the point guard. Normally, Dennis Johnson is the guy that sets things up.
You got to believe that's by design, though, right?
Well, I think so. I mean, that shows that his teammates have pretty good respect for him, and particularly Dennis Johnson. He'll grow into his role quickly with stuff like that.
Quick question. You know Pitino's penchant for the 3. Is it too early to shoot the 3 here? 1:42 to go, down 6?
No, not with Newman and Wilkins in the ball game. You have to extend your defense at this point.
Wilkins comes around, finds Newman. Newman wants to go to the hoop. Shut off this time by Bird. Ewing. A runner. Won't go down. Rebound. Shaw's got it again. He's triple teamed in the corner. Scoots through to Parrish. Taken away by Oakley. No call. Shaw to steal. Back to Oakley. Gets the layup. It's a 4-point game. There was a mugging in the backcourt that had the Celtic bench incensed.
And Jimmy is getting a taste of being head coach. He gave it 4 stumps. They knocked the ball out so that they could get into that zone pressure defense.
Bird needs some help. Find Parrish. Robert to clear the 10-second line to Shaw. Now to DJ in the corner.
Well, you still have to get at least one good shot.
And Ewing just fouled out of the game.
Now, that was not a smart play.
I don't think so.
That was not your basic smart play. There's no chance for him to do anything.
"28 points and 7 rebounds sit on the bench for the Knicks.
Well, they will have a problem, I think, all year long with Ewing and fouls. But it appears that the bench really knows how to utilize their quickness. And when they go small, they give you some problems with that defense.
Into Dennis Johnson. Celtics a fresh 24 as we approach 1 minute to go in overtime. Big trip here for the Celtics if they can convert. Brian Shaw cuts through. Bird pops out. Larry doubled inside. Parrish rolls in a hook shot.
And without Ewing, his shot blocker, Bird just knew he could get it to Parrish.
Bird right up on Newman, who wants to shoot a 3. He launches it, and Bird's called for foul.
Both McHale and Bird went out to try and contest it, and McHale kind of banged Bird into Newman. You know, that's an important adjustment for Bird, too, to play these quicker guys.
Indeed.
He's had a luxury for the last couple of years because McHale, a much bigger player, has been playing those quick guys, and that's allowed Bird to even concentrate more on his offense.
Newman misses the first.
Big miss. Oh, yes.
42 seconds to go in the game. Sidney Green and Rick Pitino not exactly seeing eye to eye. He missed them both.
Boy, and Bird and McHale just sandwiched Oakley so he couldn't get a sniff of the ball.
Parrish clears. Shaw underneath. McHale rolls it in.
If it's there, take it.
25 for McHale. Wilkins a 3. Shaw the rebound. Up to Bird. Larry's alone. Yeah.
Brian Shaw is a player. Period.
The Knicks take a timeout. 19 seconds to go. Boston by 10. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, that's another dimension to Brian Shaw's game. Defensive rebounding. They're going to have a guy who's not afraid to get in there from the guard spot. He's got the good leap, pretty strong, and not afraid to go up with the big guys and snare the rebounds. Now, you're going to see the shot, and you see Shaw come up with the rebound and then immediately clear it, look up the court as Bird has alertly taken off, as everybody with the blue uniform is trying to cram an offensive rebound in there. And that is really an experienced, knowledgeable move by Shaw, to have that head up and not be afraid to unleash that long court pass to Bird.
Knicks 2 of 10 in the overtime. Celtics 7 of 9. 121-111. The Knicks 3 possessions now away from a tie, and they've got to hit 3 3-pointers.
You know, they talk about Brian Shaw. He's not a great shooter and all that stuff. He's going to be a scorer, though, and he's going to find ways to beat you. And ultimately, he's going to work on his outside shot, and then he's going to be just an absolutely scintillating player. And it may happen all by the end of the year. Now, this man sitting right there did one fantastic job this evening.
You bet he did. You bet he did. The Chiefs strive.
Well, we are going to see some fun basketball here this year. This is game number 1, and it was anybody's ball game.
Sure was.
Right down to Brian Shaw just executed them with some good defensive play, some heads-up passing, and poise.
Now Jimmy Rogers sends the bench out here for the 19 seconds. The ball comes into Jackson. Jackson quickly to the forecourt. Looks to take it to the hole. The runner goes.
Well, that's a schoolyard shot.
Akers into Shaw. Shaw immediately hacked by Mark Jackson, who just fouled out of the game. They'll get Rod Strickland in quickly. The Celtic lead is 8. 12 seconds to go. Brian Shaw goes to the line for a couple. $16 points and 7 assists for Mark Jackson on the night.
Let's watch the release of the ball. One of the problems that he has, I'm led to believe, is that he's got what they call a flying elbow. That his elbow is not underneath the ball. It looks like he's trying to work on that, and they've already made a significant correction.
The Knicks again take a timeout, and Rick Pitino draws the boos of the Boston Garden crowd. It's a 9-point Celtic lead, 122, 113, 12 seconds to go in the game. A valiant effort by the Knicks. You can't take that away from them.
Well, I'm going to put the game in perspective, Mike.
Okay.
The Knicks played as well as I think they're going to be able to play. Okay, and they ended up in an regulation overtime game. And the Celtics, who really were playing this up-tempo game like they'd never seen it before, totally uncomfortable by the starting five, and then came back in the second half, played a little up-tempo game, what I would call half fast. And they went to their set offense a lot more than they did in the first half. Now, they're going to try and play the tempo game for a full 48 minutes. So Jimmy Rogers is going to have to say, how much are we going to run? When are we going to run? He would like to run for the full 48, but it's not going to be able to happen until these guys get those old habits out of their head and feel comfortable in playing and making the decisions at double time.
And once again, Sports Channel wants to welcome the viewers. Ronnie Grandison gets his first appearance as a Celtic. 9-point Celtic lead, 12 seconds to go. The Knicks are going to work on their three-point shots. Trent Tucker is in. Strickland finds Wilkins, who goes to the hoop and gets fouled on the way with 6 seconds on the clock.
Brad Lohaus went out and charged Wilkins, kind of semi-standing up. The one thing you got to do, you know, one of the things they talked about in the huddle, don't let him get a three-point play, make him drive. But can't do it like that. You got to stay low when you go out charging at a guy so he doesn't really totally beat you and end up at the foul line. The next thing is don't foul him.
Gerald Wilkins has 17 on his opening night. Lohaus into Paxson, knocked out of bounds. 1 second goes off the clock, 5 to go. Lohaus, bullet pass in, Akers. Back to Lohaus. Double team in the corner, and that'll do it. The officials not calling the foul, opting instead to let time run out, and the Celtics have won their home opener. And Brian Shaw has won the hearts of a lot of people in the Boston Garden. 122 for the Celtics, 115 for the Knicks.